Hello, this is Angie Burns, the owner and publisher of the Burns Team City Lifestyle, and welcome to City Lifestyle with Angie Burns. I personally run the Burns Team City Lifestyle, and we own the Allen, Plano, Rockwall, and Cross Timbers publications, but there are over 15 City Lifestyle publications in the DFW area and over 250 nationwide. We love to celebrate all of the amazing things that are going on in the DFW area, specifically where we have our luxury publications, and share them with our listeners so that you know the best-in-class businesses, the organizations making a difference in our community, and the individuals who are making an impact on our residents here in our area. Hello and welcome back to City Lifestyle with Angie Burns. I'm your host, Angie Burns, and our guest today is Karen Williamson, the dentist at Karen E. Williamson, PA, in Rockwall, Texas. So thank you for joining us today.
I'm glad to be here. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much.
Well, I'm excited for you to be here today because the dentist is one of the scariest places on the planet, and I have major dental anxiety. So it's always good for people to be able to see the person taking care of them and get to know who they are and how their calming demeanor will put them at ease when they're in that chair.
That's kind of you. And we do want our patients to feel that way when they come in. It's so important. And we find that usually there's a story. Something happened.
Yeah.
Something wasn't, just jiving right.
I think we all just watched Little Shop of Horrors. And then that's what we have in our brain is the dentist.
And we just are portrayed a lot, but there can be legitimate reasons, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not understanding the treatment, or it's just as scary. We're in your space, right? So we try to kind of make you think about other things and just make everybody comfortable before we ever start. I think that's just important.
So tell us a little bit about you as a human and kind of where your heart is and why you got into dentistry in the first place. And then we'll get into a little bit more about your practice and dentistry as a whole.
Well, thanks for asking. I became a dentist basically because I had an orthodontist who was so kind-hearted. And I had a dentist as well that was very sweet. And I just thought this is going to be a really great profession. Just kept heading in that direction. I had no idea at the time, this is the way God works things out, but that it would involve so much of engineering and also beauty. And my dad was an NASA engineer, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, china painter, sewer.
China painter. Okay, that's intriguing. We're going to have to do a whole nother podcast on that because that's fun.
So it does combine the best of both worlds, but my favorite part is the people.
Yeah.
And today we gave a over 20-year award to one of our patients. We've been doing that through the years, and just getting to know the families, the people, living their lives. And sometimes we take downturns and sometimes we take upturns, and we just hold their hand through that, and that's really fun.
So how long have you been in practice in Rockwall now?
Let's see.
'Cause you're a staple.
32
everybody knows
years.
your name in Rockwall.
Okay,
32 years. So you do have people that you've had from the time they were children, because you work on pediatrics as well, all the way till now when they have children.
Correct. I think we actually have a couple grandchildren that are coming in, which is wild and crazy.
That is insane. I remember when I was teaching, I had one time where I ended up having it wasn't quite child because I only taught for 18 years. But I had the younger siblings that were babies, and then they were having babies, and now I'm still friends.
How did it make you feel?
Yeah, and I'm like, I am not old enough for this. And then I'm like, wait, my children are in their 20s, so I guess I am old enough for this.
Yeah.
But
we love it. It's just a connection that you can't get anywhere else. And I don't know. I think dentistry is a profession. We get a bad rap, but we're very kind-hearted people usually. And most of the dentists in this area, when I travel and go to courses, dentists are very giving people. You can, right now I can think of 10 from the last course. I can just email and say, hey, do you have this or that? And it's important as a profession.
I believe that as well. I think I see a lot of servant leaders in the dental community that get very involved in the community and give back to the community. And you are our Student of the Month sponsor for the Rockwall City Lifestyle magazine, which thank you so much for that.
I was so excited to do that.
Yes,
that our last Student of the Month, I think it was snow cones.
Yes.
And so I can't wait to get some snow cones out to the office.
Oh my gosh, she is so precious. So this little girl has won the perfect pitch, best pitch in the Rockwall Chamber Lemonade Day 2 years in a row. And she's only like 10 or something, but she speaks so eloquently. She's highly intelligent. So it was very, very fun to be able to highlight her and her business. So I hope you guys can make some camaraderie there and get them out.
I hope so too.
But if anybody has somebody they'd like to nominate for Student of the Month for Rockwall, it could be anybody in Rockwall County, public school, homeschool, private school, just email us at City Lifestyle. So it's just Angi.Burns, Angi without an E, at citylifestyle.com. We have a nomination form we can send over to you in the magazine. We put the form in there a couple times a year, and then we will pick ones to feature in the magazine that we also then give a scholarship to at our community recognition dinner once a year. So we're very excited. And without your sponsorship of that, we wouldn't be able to give that back to the community. So we love that we get to highlight these amazing kids that are doing great things. So it can be athlete, it can be student, it can be artist, it can be any student that is doing amazing things in Rockwall County.
When we saw that come out, my husband said, "Oh, this is perfect that you are helping to sponsor that," because I was such a student myself. And I was the one that, back to school now, but I always had my notebooks ready. 2 weeks in advance and everything, put in them. And so I apparently really liked being a student.
Well, I remember when we met and we were discussing, you did have a hard time saying, do I want to do educator sponsorship or student sponsorship? But your heart just kept saying, we really want to feature these students. And it's so clear when you go into your practice that you take care of them. You really do care about these kids and you do want them to feel comfortable. And it's a culture that you've created in your entire practice. And I noticed that just when seeing the people in the waiting room, they don't seem nervous, which you walk into other practices and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the dentist. And, a lot of times like I get out of school, yay. But then like, I got to get out of school to go to the dentist. Like I'll stay in school.
Well, there's a little trick to that. We don't let you sit out there very long.
That is a good point. Okay. We have more fantastic information coming your way. So stay with us because City Lifestyle with Angi Burns will be right back. At City Lifestyle, we only partner with best-in-class businesses. And a lot of times people will ask me, well, what does that mean? We do a very rigorous vetting process for anyone who is allowed to advertise in our publications. We only partner with people who are 4- and 5-star businesses and who have great reviews with Better Business Bureau, have all of their licenses and certifications up to date. We want to make sure that our readers and listeners are only being recommended businesses who are going to go above and beyond, so you are getting a best-in-class business.
We think about how it would be. We have family day at our office where we treat ourselves, our employees' families, and we treat it as
that is a genius idea.
It's important.
Wow, that is a great way to get honest feedback.
Oh, and we get it.
Yeah. Because who is more honest than a child, for one, and your own child, for two? Absolutely.
I use an example, but my husband had a crown done, and I was getting ready to put it in. And when you do, you usually bite down on some cotton roll, the dreaded cotton roll. And I was asking him to please bite down because if he didn't, it was going to cement like out here. And he was hesitant. He goes, I'm going to give you a little feedback on that. He goes, you need to tell everybody that it's not your finger, that we're actually biting down on a cotton roll. And I'd never really thought about that. And so now every crown, I'm like, this is a cotton roll, Mrs. Jones. I want you to bite down on the cotton roll.
Oh my gosh, he thought he was biting your finger.
He did. He didn't want to hurt me.
That's so sweet though.
Super sweet. But anyway, we learn. That's how we learn, right?
That's genius. I love that.
Take notes and look up at the ceiling and see what our patients are seeing and what it feels like to walk in. And we're not perfect because we keep working on it, but it helps. Yeah. It helps.
So tell us a little bit about the misconceptions that people have when they come into the dentist. So what is something that you hear people say to you all the time, and you're like, no, that's not right? Or I know you've been told that for years, but don't worry about that.
I would say I'm using this whitening toothpaste and it's going to work on my teeth.
Okay.
That is a common misconception. Whitening toothpaste does not really work like that. It may be getting off surface stain, but it's doing it by being really abrasive. And I think we had that conversation.
Yes, we did. We did have the conversation about that. Yeah.
And so we're really into preserving the enamel as much as we can and not brushing it off. Mm-hmm. So I like to go by a list. So you
have this list available for people.
Yes, if you will either come by the office or we're going to put it on our website, but you can get a list of how abrasive the toothpaste are. Not every toothpaste will be on there, but a good number of them are. And you may be shocked to find out that the toothpaste you're using is causing a lot of your sensitivity because they're just too abrasive. Yeah.
I remember I asked you because I had heard I thought it was just kind of a rumor myth about using baking soda. Because I do that. I do it like once a week. I just brush with baking soda. And I was like, is this weird? Am I like, and then you were like, no, that's right. And I was like, I'm so smart. I was like, look at me.
Yes, it's a 7 on the scale.
Okay.
So baking soda and water is a 7. Now you don't have your fluoride in it and you don't have some other things, but great way to go.
Okay.
As you go up the scale, I won't name individual toothpaste, but let's just say some of your ultra whitening toothpaste are upwards of 200.
Oh my gosh.
So they do test them. If it's American Dental Association approved toothpaste, it is being tested for abrasiveness. And I guess, they basically take a tooth enamel and they test it by basically rubbing this toothpaste on it for who knows how they test it.
Right.
But we get this scale. And so we try to keep our patients 70 or below. And it's just shocking.
And baking soda is a 7?
It's a 7.
Oh, look at that. I am not abrasive to my teeth.
That's right. Because, the more you take the enamel away, the more you see the next layer, which is yellower. Oh, so I wish I had known this all of my life. Right. I would have used a whole lot less toothpaste.
And you don't need to use a lot of toothpaste. You have a funny word for it. What did you call it when somebody does the big thing?
The little swirl on TV where they go like this on the toothbrush is called a nurdle. I'm not sure how you spell it. But we don't need a nurdle. We need the size of a green pea, basically, or less. I brush my teeth so often, usually.
What is the recommendation now for how many times a day you should brush your teeth?
I would say at least twice, but for sure before you go to bed at night.
Okay.
Kind of like washing makeup off the face.
Don't let it sit there overnight.
Yeah.
So is it more important or better to brush your teeth before you go to bed at night or when you wake up in the morning and get ready for the day?
I would say before you go to bed at night.
Okay.
Because then everything's going to sit there
But then brush them again in the morning because nobody wants to smell your breath.
Yes. So, I will honestly tell my patients, they go, how many times a day do you brush? I'm like, well, I've really had to tone down the amount of toothpaste. So almost every other time I'm not even using any paste on my brush.
Oh.
So
you're just cleaning the things, just wiping them clean basically. Because
you don't have to have all of that. We can remove it. And, it's, less, but I wish that I had known to.
I know when my daughters had braces, they would brush at school as well, obviously, because the things would get stuck in their teeth. But do you recommend people bring a little travel toothbrush and maybe toothpaste or baking soda or something and have it with them throughout the day? So like every time they eat, they brush?
I don't know that we have to do it every time we eat. That's more for us, or we're a little worried about something. And that may make that enamel go away a little bit faster. If, with braces on, absolutely. Nobody wants to see your sandwich bread in between your braces.
Right.
But we take advantage a lot of water picks.
Okay.
So we love water picks, a way to actually blast things out from around braces or get the plaque off easier. We think water picks are the bomb. I mean, they work well.
So my daughters had water picks when they had braces, but they don't use them much since they don't have braces anymore, but they should still use the water pick? Okay,
Best
good to know.
Gums we see are patients who routinely use their water pick.
What about flossing?
I like flossing. We're talking about taking the string in between. So I describe it like a car, and you're taking it to the car wash. And if you don't use the water pick or don't use the string floss, you're basically brushing.
Are they interchangeable, the water pick and the floss, or should you use?
A little bit of both.
Use both. Okay.
So water pick's going down more by the gum and kind of the curvatures of the teeth. The string floss should go where the two teeth touch.
So in between.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Once a day?
Yeah,
Once
little secret.
couple times a week?
If you can't string floss, make sure you're water picking.
Okay. Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Stay tuned. We will be right back with City Lifestyle with Angi Burns after these short announcements. Thank you for tuning into City Lifestyle with Angi Burns. We are committed to being involved in our community and giving back as much as we can. If you would like us to come out and throw a neighborhood block party for your community, please contact us. We bring out bounce houses, DJs, ice cream trucks, and we would love to get your feedback on our publication and introduce you to our highly qualified and vetted advertising sponsors. We do not sell anything at the events. We just come out, throw a party, and get to know our neighbors so that we know how to best serve our community. So let us know if you would like us to come out to your neighborhood. We typically serve our neighborhood for block parties during the months of May, June, July, and October for trunk or treats. So reach out to us at Angi, ANGI.Burns@citylifestyle.com to book your City Lifestyle block party today. What are some other tips and tricks that you can tell people? How do you know when you need to go to the dentist? How often do you really need to go to the dentist?
I would certainly go at least one time for an exam per year. That is really critical. Things change very fast, especially in regards to cavities. We have a real problem right now, which is a high rate of acid reflux. And a lot
Have you seen an
issues.
increase in that? Because I've seen a lot more people seem to be suffering from it or hearing about people suffering from it. Do you think it's about diet or?
I think it's a combination of both. I think we have a higher rate of sleep apnea, which can create issues with that.
Okay.
And then we also have diet issues and gut issues, and it's all connected.
Right.
So if we can get this right, the gut gets better. Get the gut right, this gets better.
Okay.
So, but I do see a lot of issues with the acid reflux. So you can do some major damage to teeth with that very quickly around fillings you already have, around crowns, on the teeth themselves. So I'm seeing personally a lot more root decay. We don't know why, but a lot more in the last 5 years than I've ever seen in my entire career. So something's going on.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of drinks out there that are very acidic.
Yeah.
So even your pretty fitness waters.
Yeah. And the exceeding amount of those energy drinks and all of that type of stuff, that was never a thing.
Right.
Like when I was growing up, I didn't have to worry about, drinking a caffeine drink, the Monsters and the Red Bulls and all of those. And now my son's in middle school and I'm like, no, sir.
Right.
Like,
We're not going to.
You do not get to drink those.
Wise mama.
Yeah.
That's wise. I would also, suggest this. It's very easy to go to a pool supply store and or hardware store, get some pH strips. And I've told my patients, go home, and the thing that you're drinking the most often.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Even if it's Ozarka water or whatever type of water it is,
I don't want to
put the
know.
strip in there. Find out.
Put the pH strip in your drinks.
Yeah, find out.
What's healthy? Like what's allowable?
We would like something at least above 6, 7. So
the higher number is better.
Right. Higher it is, the more alkaline it is.
Okay.
The lower it is, if it's 2 or 3, it's very acidic.
Okay.
Here and there, it's not going to be a big deal. But if we're drinking 3 or 4 of those, a lot, then we're going to create issues. So
that sounds like a very fun science experiment.
it is. I think we just experiment.
I think that we just figured out what my son's doing for a science fair project this year.
I think it's a great science experiment.
That is fantastic. So do you have the whole project and the results from your experience somewhere?
Mine was a little different.
Okay.
I went to a school to give a talk about dentistry.
Okay.
And I took a lot of different things: root beer, Coke, water, and we pH strip checked it in front of everybody. And of course, you would expect the sodas to be, very, because it's a lot. It's not just about sugar; it's about phosphoric acid.
Right.
So the kids were surprised to learn that Diet Coke or Coke Zero with no sugar was just as acidic, if not more, than regular Coke.
Yeah.
So basically, after we checked everything, I thought, well, let's just check the school water. I'm not going to say which school, but the school water was pretty acidic. I was kind of blown away. So we really do need to be careful.
Is alkaline water good like that?
Yeah, I'm with sometimes the taste is flat.
Yeah.
It's alkaline, so it's a little bit flat. But yeah, we would want to go more in that direction than we would the ones that are kind of hyped up a little bit with the minerals and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Just good idea to check it and easy to check.
Yeah.
So
that actually sounds kind of fun.
I think it's a great science experiment.
Yeah, that's very neat.
How many of those now?
I know. Oh my gosh, that's really neat. Well, tell people exactly where you're located and how to reach you if they want to make an appointment with you. And then kind of just a general rundown of the services that you offer.
Okay. So we are at the corner of Steger Town and Ralph Hall in Rockwall. We're basically right next to Lake Point Church, if I can put a plug in for Lake Point Church. There's a soccer field, and we're right there beside them. Our phone number is 469-402-0024 if you need to reach us. You can also go on KarenWilliamsonDDS.com, and you can request an appointment on the website as well. What else did you ask me?
Rundown of just general services. So is there anything special that you offer? Like, I know some dentals do the myo brace, some do different things that you don't necessarily have to be referred out to a oral surgeon or orthodontist or something like that too. What all do you offer? So
currently, all kinds of stuff going on in the office. We are by all means, a general dentistry practice. So fillings, crowns. I love our crowns because we make them in the office. You do not have to wear a temporary. Wow. So we use the CEREC, C-E-R-E-C system to basically CAD/CAM design.
So you don't have to have 2 appointments?
That's right.
Oh, that's nice.
Done in one visit. That is very popular. We also offer Invisalign therapy, occlusal guards, sleep apnea appliances, composite bonding, fillings, veneers. Something new on the horizon, but basically we're going to start doing some no prep, or what we call prepless veneers, which mean that there would be you would not be touching the tooth with the drill per se. There's some caveats to that, but essentially we're not preparing the tooth before we put a veneer on it.
Interesting.
So it starts with a lot of photography and getting.
So what's the difference there? Like, what's the benefit of that?
They're as thin as a contact lens.
Wow.
You cannot make major color changes with them. You can with regular veneers. But if you're wanting to really bring and highlight the color up, you can do it that way.
Wow.
And basically, you're not preparing the tooth back. So you're not taking
away part of the teeth. Okay.
Correct. Okay. And they can be very beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. I know. I can't wait to see them in action. Like, come in and check it out.
We'll be taking photos and posting all of that. So.
And I'm sure we will feature it in Rockwall City Lifestyle at some point when we do. I believe you're going to be featured in the health and wellness issue in January. So we can check that out. Maybe talk a little bit more about that in detail then. Maybe we'll have some of those photos to share.
I hope so.
So awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. I appreciate it. And I hope you learned something, because I know I sure did. And check out Dr. Karen Williamson in Rockwall.
Thank you for having me.
If you are looking for the best place to market your business to our local community, please consider City Lifestyle Publications. I personally own the Allen and Plano territories, but we have over a dozen luxury publications in our area. We are a nationwide brand, so we have over 200 publications across the nation, and we really do value high editorial integrity, beautiful photography, and making sure that your story is told in a respectable and beautiful way. So if you would like to learn more about how to become an advertising partner of City Lifestyle Publications, feel free to reach out to us, because we are your ticket in the door to get you face to face with your next client.